Hello everyone and welcome to On the Grid. My name is EJ Moreno and this show is all about focusing on people who make the Tampa Bay area better. I have just a powerful guest with me today, Nyla Hazratjee. How are you today?
I am so excited to be here and share all the cool things that we do. We love Tampa and we're absolutely happy to be here.
I mean, before we get into what you do, I need to get into who you are. I had questions written down and then you said, hold on, I'm still doing it. So before you even got into the world of film, because you do New York, LA Productions,
correct,
which is a just wonderful company that amplifies voices,
yep,
specifically Muslim, South Asian
yep,
voices, the MENA voices as well. But you were a physician and still are a physician.
Correct, yep. I am a double board certified gastroenterologist and internal medicine physician, and I have a private practice. It's called Digestive Health and Wellness in the Wesley Chapel area. I work for a variety of Advent hospitals and a variety of other hospitals in the area. And I work a lot. So, you know, I'm not, but there's a good possibility I could have been on call today.
Yes.
But, you know, when you have a passion for doing things, you find the time for them. So I love to juggle, in fact. It's not a good thing. It's a pathology. I don't recommend it, but I have a propensity to want to always be doing more. And I embrace it so that I can use that productivity to do good things in the world. But certainly, I'm the sort of person who's going to be like working when I die, you know?
You workaholic people are wild to me because you find the time, but still also maintain that passion.
Yeah.
You still seem passionate about it. Also, I have tummy issues. We're going to talk
yep,
after.
Absolutely.
We have stuff I need
100%,
gut health.
No,
that's awesome. No, I love that you have this background in physician, but what brought you to film and production? Very different worlds. They're on the opposite side of the world, but you found a way to meet yourself in the middle there. How did you find yourself into film?
Yeah, you know, I always find like there are certain types of people that gravitate towards certain types of careers, and physicians are usually well-oiled machines by the time we finish what we're doing as far as our prepping and all of our work. So when I was working really hard and all things are going well and successful, I found myself a little bit bored, to be honest with you. I've always had a little creativity, even through med school. When I went to med school in Pakistan, I'm a foreign medical graduate. I kept myself busy by being a media personality in Pakistan as well. And then came here, did the medicine thing, put that stuff on the shelf. And when I found some time, I wanted to reignite that creativity in me. And hence comes New York, LA Production.
Before we get into New York, LA Productions, which seems like such a wonderful organization, tell me about being this media personality in Pakistan. Like, that seems, you described yourself a bit like a Ryan Seacrest.
Yes, yeah.
And I have questions because that seems amazing.
Well, I'll start by saying that was like 20 years ago, okay? I'm 43. I'm not shy about my age, but I feel like it's been like that was a
lifetime ago.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But yeah, so I started off, I didn't wear a hijab at the time. I was modeling and doing stuff like that while I was in med school. And from there, they asked me to be on the radio. So I was a radio jockey. I had a very popular few shows, which were kind of like impromptu talk shows.
Yeah.
And from there, I started doing TV. So I was a VJ. At that time, you know, MTV was big, right?
Yeah, RIP MTV this year. Yes,
yeah,
wow.
But I was a VJ in Pakistan, and then I also started doing some healthy lifestyle cooking shows on a very popular channel there called Hum TV, which does a lot of like TV. It's kind of like their Food Network type of a show.
Ooh.
And then I hosted everything from industry to rock shows to corporate events, and it was like a fun time. You know, it was a wonderful experience, and I learned a lot. So
where does that start from, though? You know, you do the physician background. Where does that, like, going back to young Nyla, like, what is this like background to wanting to? Were you a attention-seeking kid? And that's not a bad thing. I have a 7-year-old. So.
I was not. I was like a pretty nerdy kid. Like I was a straight A student. My parents, I don't know if it happens in your culture, but at that time in our culture, everybody wanted to skip grades. So I had skipped 2 grades. I was like super young. Even when I was in high school, I graduated when I was like 15 years old. So like I was always like a kid in school, you know, even though like everybody else was like dating and like growing up.
You're still a baby, like you're finishing high school.
Dorky girl in glasses. And I don't think that I had a glow up until probably sometime in med school, you know what I mean? And I was like, oh, okay, maybe a boy does like me, or whatever.
Yeah.
So I think I was like probably, I would say, in the quirky group, not like super nerdy, but also kind of like the weird kids.
But now you've found that middle ground though, because you're stunning, but you're also,
thank you,
and I mean
thank
this,
you.
I mean this
please,
nicely
do
though,
go on.
you're also weird and quirky still.
Yes.
And I think that's a perfect middle ground
Yeah.
to have. And that's how you, I mean, you're in the film industry. You got to be a little weird. Like,
I've always felt a little bit like I don't want to say an outsider, but someone who would go in and out of a lot of groups, right? Because I'm a multifaceted person. That's how I like to describe myself. And so I can fit into a variety of different places. I don't like clickiness. And so I've never been like someone who's going to like be loyal to a group either. If you ask me that, I'm out, you know?
Yep.
But what that does, I think, is it gives you a lot of different experience. And if you're an observant person, it allows you to observe a lot of different types of people. And I think that then, informs your writing, informs what you're creating, and gives you a lot of stories to talk about,
No, I love that. I'm very similar. I hung out with the goth kids. I hung out with the jock kids. But again, it teaches you how to communicate with everyone.
Yep.
It's, I know a lot of brown folk know the terms code switching.
Yeah.
But sometimes you got to talk to certain people the way, and once you learn those skills, as a host, it makes it so much stronger. And you deal with so many different folks that I'm sure it's been a little secret weapon in your pocket.
I absolutely agree with you. It's one of the things, if someone said, well, what are the things that like have been like the things you really benefit from? One of those is like the ability to be tolerant and like empathize with a lot of different types of people. I wear a headscarf, so it comes with a lot of sort of preconceptions from the people who meet me, right? But I am like probably the most liberal person that I know. Okay, and so it's disarming and charming when people go, oh, she's not like a super duper conservative religious zealot, or whatever. And I think that I've always been someone who thinks I can learn from people and my interactions, and I'm open to those interactions.
That openness is hard, but again, that's what you need in your position. So you lived in Pakistan, and then you moved to Houston, I believe.
Yep.
Why Tampa? As a native Floridian and as a long time, my whole life Tampa person, every time someone comes here, I'm like, why?
You'll be surprised. We really love Tampa. So I was born and brought up in Houston. I went back to Pakistan for med school. I was in Ohio for a lot of my subsequent like residency and fellowship. And my husband is also a physician, and he was trying to figure out at that time where he was going to match in residency. It was between Michigan and Tampa, and I was like, please, not Michigan.
No snow. You said no snow for me, please.
No, but we were so excited when we moved to Tampa, and we weren't sure that we were going to stay here for a long time. We thought perhaps we would go back to Houston, but after a few years in Tampa, we really grew to love it. We have such a wonderful community. In all of the different communities that I'm a part of.
Yes, I was going to say, you're such a spread out person where there were...
I feel
feel
like with Tampa, there's so many people, even from Tampa, that leave and then they come back, that it's kind of like this expat culture where they're really willing to embrace new people without like that clickiness. Whenever somebody new even comes into my social circle, that's how I was introduced. Someone said, hey, there's a new girl. Meet her, and someone invited me to another party and said, hey, come to our birthday party. And I do the same for all of the new people that come in. Come in, meet the people, make your own friends, figure out who you are. And we love where we are, both my husband, myself, and my kids, who are totally Tampa natives.
Oh,
like
good to hear.
we've got gator fishing in the backyard. Like I don't know what's going on.
Bucks fans?
100%.
Okay, I was going to say, yeah, no, that's amazing to hear, and I love to hear that. Also, to go with that, we're a tourist state. We're also a snowbird state. So, like you said, we have to be used to people coming in, the visitors.
Yeah.
That's a good quality of us Florida people to have, to embrace those new people. Again, just small little things make us like empathetic people who want to be nice to folks.
We embrace the new, and we're like, all right, you can try us out.
What a rare thing these days. So we have to talk about New York, LA productions.
Yes,
How did you start that? Where does this begin? How long ago? And tell me about those early days.
So when I was bored, and it was right around COVID times, and I went to a dinner I was invited to for a person who was doing some sort of a pilot here in Tampa. And they said a few things that really clicked for me. One was, it's COVID. These streamers will throw money at anything and see if it sticks. And then the other thing was that the TV show that they were making was kind of Sex in the City, but in Tampa.
Ooh.
Okay. So I got done with the dinner and I called my husband and I said, hey, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to write a TV show. And this is why. I was like, well, Sex in the City in Tampa is all right. I would still give it a few episodes to see what it was about.
Yeah.
But you know what's a great show? Sex in the City for Black people. It's called Insecure on HBO, right? And I thought to myself, Rami, that had just won the Emmy. I was like, it's the first like Muslim American TV show that did well. There was another show, which you guys might have seen, called The Indian Matchmaker. It was like an Orientalist fantasy, let's look behind the curtain type of thing. I was like, what if I did a show that's kind of like Rami, but about my community, which is doctors, lawyers, engineers, and what we're like. That would be Sex in the City, but for Muslim people. And that was kind of like the high concept for the TV show that I wrote. And my husband said, all right, I'll support you, but you'll have to learn how to write. I was like, gotcha. And that's kind of where it started. Then we hustled our way through LA. And when you're in the industry, you realize that you don't know where the road is going to lead, right? You think you're going to go in this direction, and then you meet somebody and you start going in this direction, and then it sort of fans out in multiple like different directions. And I was on a Zoom called Muslim Women in the Room, where a director named Mariam Keshavarz was on that show. And in the Zoom, they said, oh yeah, we love to help new talent. I said, I got you. I got your numbers. I got everybody's name, and I tried to find them on Instagram. I slid in her DM, and I said, hey, would you meet me for coffee? She said, yes, which is like really, really nice of her to do. And I pitched her my TV show. Then I thought I'd never hear from her again. She loved it. She came on as a director. She's an attached director to that TV show pilot. Amazing. And at that time, she was in the beginning of writing the Persian version. And so she said, hey, I have this screenplay. Are you interested in coming on board as a producer? I read it. I loved it. I personally feel, I know you're a critic, and I always feel like I am a good indicator of what the general public will like. Yeah. Right? And I thought, yeah, this movie can do well. And it did. That's
a hard skill to have. As a critic, sometimes I think other critics get stuck in, well, what is the awards? And I'm like, no. We're not the people we need to sell this to. Everyone needs to watch this. And I think those are, I just watched a story about a Muslim boy bringing his boyfriend over to his parents.
Yes, and a great movie. I
love that. And again, I think something about film is also the diversity and allowing us to go to different cultures. I believe you have a quote, isn't it? Diversity isn't noise, it's harmony.
Correct.
I think that is such a powerful quote. And I love that you instantly get to bring in your life, your personality. Tell me about wanting to amplify these other voices, though. Was it a little bit of time in the industry and realizing?
Yeah, you're sometimes the only person in the room, right? Yeah. And frankly, you're not allowed in the room a lot of times too. So I believe in the Muslim American diaspora. We're like one of those like new, like a mixture of American and Muslim, but it's also very relatable because I have friends who tell me who are like Coptic Catholics, who are Jewish, who are coming from smaller communities, and they go, yes, I feel the same way when you talk about how you have to deal with like your parents and like who you are and how you deal with like your small circle and how judgmental they are. And it's incredible to me why we can't share in that sort of peculiar generality, right? And that is kind of like what we want to do, because I want to show people that I am multifaceted. I am American. I am a hijabi, but I also am a sexual person. Like, these are all things that are part of me.
You could be a multi-layered human, which is we need more of.
I want to show that, and it can be hard, though. You know, we see, and for us in our community, and this may be true for other communities too, there is a double-edged sword to it, right? Because like, you have like the external stereotypes where it's like, oh, we want to save you. We want to make you a terrorist, or we want to pedestal you and make you like a gypsy who can save everybody else, right? And then from the inside, there's a whole patriarchy, which is like, don't show the bad side of Muslims. Make us perfect. And we're not perfect. The whole thing is that in our imperfection is humanity. Right?
I see that a lot within the gay community is they want perfect representation.
Right.
And sometimes I need to see a gay villain.
Right.
We exist. We get so scared of doing that. And I love that. I remember my best friend being from the Philippines and being like, oh, wait, hold on. We have the same upbringing? So brown people are just brown people. Like,
that's right.
No matter where we're from, we are a very similar walk of life. And I love that you were able to find that. So when you're looking at stories and you're looking at films or filmmakers, working with LA, New York productions, what stands out to you? When you're finding a story, and I'm a Muslim woman wanting you to pick up my production.
Yep, absolutely.
What stands out?
Yeah. First of all, come to us. Yeah. Right? I really love someone who is going to take the initiative. They always say that, like, it's not the best films that get made, it's the films that get made. Mm-hmm. Right?
Ooh, yes.
Right? Like, if you don't do it, it doesn't matter how great your concept is, right? You have to be the person who actually, like, says, all right, I'm going to take this from an idea to a reality. And part of that is also going out, hustling, being able to put yourself out there, okay to fail. Mm-hmm. And if you come to us, I think that's a great first step, right? Because it shows that you have initiative and drive. And then we try to look at films that, of course, have something to do with our Muslim female. But I don't think that we try and we don't want to, like, box in our artists. We have sponsors, for example, for certain events and certain films that we do, which will not sponsor our other films because they have particular mandates and things like that. And I get it, but, like, if I am telling an artist that they have the platform, then I want them to be able to tell the story that they want to tell. That being said, then we look at it from a production business. Like, how can we market this? Is there space for this? Can we get funding? How much will it cost? All of those, like, sort of things that sometimes creatives forget.
As someone who is a director and not a producer, I don't have producer brain.
That's right.
And I need someone like you to be like, oh, honey, no, that's an extra $4,000 just to fly in the pony.
Right.
So we need producers like you. I know you are a rare breed in this industry, but I also feel like just getting your energy that you're not a shut down no person.
I think we can make it happen.
Yes,
right?
Yes.
But we just have to figure out how to make it happen, right?
That's a good quality to have.
Yeah.
And as someone who needed you years ago, maybe.
Just
to be like, hey, please.
We're here now.
I know. I'm like, please, girl. No, I love that. I love to hear what you do. And then coming up with this event. It's November 13th, right?
Yep,
November 13th. It is celebrating Muslim women, movies, monologues, and music.
Yes.
Tell me about this event. Okay. Tell me about the monologues, the music, the movies. What is going on here?
We're really, really excited to bring this event to the Tampa Theater, which, of course, we love the Tampa Theater. It's a historic building. If you've not been, you've got to go. It's just beautiful when you walk in. You feel like you're in, like, the old world.
So lovely. I can't believe we have something like that here.
And we're so lucky. And so that's where we're doing it. It seats 1,250 people. We expect to fill the place. And so what we're doing is trying to bring a full artistic event to our Tampa community, which includes an animated short film, a short documentary, a narrative short film, a hijabi ballerina, a South Asian hip-hop fusion team, the Bulls Dubki, which is like, I don't know if you've ever seen that sort of like the stomping dance that they do at weddings. They have like a Dubki team, so they're going to come and perform for us. And then we have a spoken word artist. Her name is Sammy Obeid. She's pretty popular in the Tampa area.
Yes, I think everyone knows a little bit about Sam.
And we love her. And so she'll be giving us a spoken word as well, with a little bit of a media interactive thing to really emphasize her work as well. So it's going to be like a smorgasbord of different types of artistry, all done from a Muslim female angle in some way. They're directors, and then we'll have a panel of all of these artists there to talk to our Tampa community and tell them about all these things. Now, really, it's art. I know we say celebrating Muslim women, and it is about that because they're all Muslim artists, but really it's about celebrating this industry and the artistry that's out there. And I think it's going to be so much fun. I'm excited myself.
Your enthusiasm for it is very infectious. But what drew you to do this? Was this you meeting a spoken word artist, you meeting these dancers and going, but I want to hang out with all of you. Like I want an event. That's what it seems like.
You know, like I will sometimes do some spoken word myself when I know nobody is around or watching. But yeah, I'm a huge fan of every single one of these artists, actually. And I want to bring those films that I have seen and been like, oh my God, so good. How can I bring this to my community, both from like a smaller Muslim Tampa community, but also like the film and industry of Tampa. We have so much talent here in Tampa itself, and I want them to see these people. And you know how it is. I bet there's going to be some really cool connections made at this event. And I think that everybody there is going to have questions, comments, and really enjoy the show.
I can't wait for that 21-year-old young Muslim girl to get there and be like, there's a place for me here.
Yep.
Because again, that's, it's a big thing about if you can see it, you can be it.
Yep.
And we don't often get that chance to see it.
Yeah.
I choked with you back there about the Marvel show Miss Marvel.
Yeah.
But that was the first time a lot of people saw a hijabi woman.
Yeah.
In a fun cartoony environment, the superhero world.
Right.
And that was just such a strong moment. And again, these small moments of representation are so important. You've even inspired me. Now I'm like, can I do this for gay folk?
I think yes.
Can I please do something? Because it seems like
it's about art. It's really not about that.
It's about
other
any
part
small
of
demographic.
Right.
It's about highlighting that art, and I love that you want to highlight this. It's also a free event, which
absolutely free.
If anyone knows, free events are hard to throw. So you have some sponsors making this happen.
We do.
Tell me about some of these awesome sponsors who made this happen.
We really wanted to keep the event free. One, because we want our public to come. We don't want this to be a hindrance to anybody. It's at the Tampa Theater. It holds 1,250 people. We want this to come to as many people as possible. But yes, that doesn't come without cost. And so part of production, as you know, is funding. And we've been really, really blessed to have a lot of our local sponsors and small businesses in our Tampa community be really, really responsive to make this event happen. If you guys come, you'll see we have these amazing gift bags that have also been given by them. They're so cool. Kamaria Coffee, if you've not been there, it's a Yemeni coffee place in Temple Terrace. It's a franchise. It is excellent. I mean, everybody who goes there finds something that they really, really love. That whole like pistachio.
The Dubai chocolate thing that blew up.
They're so good. There's a place called Roasted, which does these amazing like gift baskets with gummy candies and chocolates. One of our sponsors and one of our favorite places to have dinner is Acropolis. We have Kamaria Care, Florida, 200 Muslim women who care.
Yes.
And then we have a bunch of different sponsors that are also helping us. Canterbury Hall, which is a hall that does events in New Tampa. They're one of our sponsors, one of our first sponsors, in fact. So there's always like something to talk about there. And we've got some micro grants for it too, like Gobioff Foundation. We sort of pitched them our thing and we won one of their grants, which was like sort of the impetus for us to do this. So we were very excited about it. And then we've got all of our film and community network partners like yourself. Like TBCN has been amazing to help us with this.
Girl, you sold me with art and food. I'm already. I was already there for the art.
Yeah.
Then you started. You said shawarma, and I said,
we're gonna do a really, really cool after party at Dio down the street. It's gonna be so much fun. It's really gonna be a really entertaining event.
You kind of touched on this. What was the response to this? Did these organizations go, "Oh, we've been waiting for you"? I feel like this kind of event is something that maybe people didn't know they wanted or didn't know we needed. And has that been, do you feel the response?
Yeah, we've been really, really lucky in that way. Funding is hard these days for everybody, especially in the nonprofit art world. The climate is not great for DEI right now.
Nope.
And all of those things are a struggle when it comes to like government funding. But the people haven't changed, right? And the people still want that. We understand that our world is diverse. Our neighborhoods are diverse. We are part of that diversity. And I think I see that with our small businesses in Tampa. And the Tampa community is like so embracing of all of these little bits. And people are like, oh, well, you're in Florida. It's like, no, we're in Tampa, Florida.
Yeah.
And it's a completely different world.
Yeah, so. I think people forget some of that land does not vote. It's the people here that do.
Right.
And again, I love that you said it. Target may not want to be diverse right now, but everyone else still wants to be. And we're still hungry for that. And again, diversity is not a dirty word.
Yeah.
I just love your...
Diversity is not a dirty word. I love that.
Yes. And I also love that you see the negativity around, but you're still just taking it like, okay, cool. Anyways, and I think
that's right.
Nowadays,
I think that's how you've got to be. I don't know. Maybe that's another one of those special qualities that I think but I think people can develop it. It's like, and if you want to be in the industry, guess what? You kind of got to be like that. If you're going to take offense to every negative rejection that you're going to get, you're going to be out of here pretty soon.
You said that about no's. I think a lot of people, especially a lot of young women who are getting to film, and I remember this as a young kid being like, the no's hurt at first.
They do.
But maybe with, New York, LA productions, you're like, no's can also motivate you. My goodness, a no can drive you.
I believe that failure is a win, you know, in a way. Like, you're going to learn from it, and you're going to get better if that is how you decide.
If that's how you take it, yeah. What's next for you? So we have this event. Are you looking past the event? We have a film that we're taking to the film festivals. Tell me about that briefly.
Absolutely. American Fabric. It's a beautiful short film that we just have finished in the post-production, and many of our community were helpful to help fund that as well. It's a story about, well, it's another one of these relatable stories. We follow a hijabi who wants to take her headscarf off and one who wants to start wearing one, and how throughout their day, all of their interactions are essentially the same, despite the fact that they're making completely different choices. For example, when they meet their families are like, who are you? We don't know you. What are we going to tell your friends? Even though they're making absolutely different choices. But you know what? My body, my choice. Women should have agency over all their decisions, but everybody always feels they have agency over your agency. And so herein lies the story where we talk about how these two women go through all of those different sort of opinions and feelings that are coming towards what should be a very simple and personal choice. Ultimately, they make a quiet and resigned decision to make the choice that is the right choice for them. So we think that this is going to be an amazing film. You know what else? The film was majority female cast and crew, all female head of department, majority local female cast and crew. So like we were like, how can we make this harder for ourselves?
Harder, but at the same time, as someone who, as a critic and as someone who's worked in the industry, to have my keys be women, to have a woman first AD, please. That's all I ask for.
Oh my gosh.
I asked for a woman to keep me on schedule, please.
I have some great people to recommend you. And you know, it's a female movie for women through a female lens and with a female opinion. And we had all kinds of different types of ages and genders on our set, but as well as like the majority of women were coming from different diverse backgrounds of their sort of their ethnicity, and all of those things sort of fed and informed our film, which I think is what is the most lovely thing about this film. Even our post-production was largely female majority. So we were like, you know, we want your opinion. This is not a me production. This is a production which is an us production. And so we're really, really excited to take that to festivals and show people that film. I'm really, really excited about it.
I'm very pro female editors, because Martin Scorsese movies, and without Thelma editing those movies for him, who knows what they would have been like longer. Longer. We needed her to be like, baby, no. I just love to hear this. And I'm so happy for you to bring this around festivals. I think it's going to be a moment for you. I think you're going to enjoy it. Nyla, thank you so much for talking with me. We need another. Can we set one of these up soon? When you get this movie during some festivals, I want to come back with you.
Oh, please, absolutely. We would love to have you.
It's just been an honor. You are such a powerhouse.
Thank you.
So thank you.
I'm touched and honored to be here myself. It's really, really nice to have our Tampa Bay film community encourage us and be supportive of us, and vice versa. You know, I know Tampa Bay Community Network does so much as far as like education, and I wish more people knew about that too, because it's like I learned about you guys and I'm like, what? You guys give free classes to people to learn how to be production? It's like amazing.
Free YouTube, free any of these.
I wish I had known. There's so,
Trust me, that's why I love doing it. That's why I love TBCN, and that's why we love you as well. You have that energy that we have here. Thank you so much, Nyla. And I want to say thank you guys for watching. Celebrating Muslim Women is going to be at the Tampa Theater this month in November. If this is past November, check it out. Any of the footage that you can see online, social media. Where can we find you?
New York, LA Production. That's our email address. You can find us at NYLA Production. That's our website. You can find us on Instagram, New York LA Production. We're all over the place. And reach out when you want to, because we want to hear from everybody.
Reach out. She said it. Please, guys, reach out to Nyla. She has some things to do and make your dreams possible. As you made my dream possible talking to you today. It's been a great honor.
All right, I'll take it.
Thank you guys so much for watching On the Grid with me, EJ Moreno. It's been a wonderful episode. I cannot wait to see what Nyla does next. Thank you guys for tuning in.